Hey y'all, welcome back to Trash Talk with T.
Hello.
Today it's gonna be Kay and New Bay today doing Trash Talk with T. We're gonna be
I got a
talking.
new name.
Yes, me too. I'm Kay. She's new, and we just gonna put the Bay on. It's okay and New Bay. So we're gonna be talking our trash while sipping on a little tea tonight.
Which happens to be Jose Cuervo.
Hey, we ain't say that too loud though, but here we go. Today's topic is, what do you think about the DL brothers, men, period, down low brothers?
Down low is what we mean by DL.
Down low,
On the down low, not gay,
Yeah.
not bisexual, not pansexual, any of that. We're talking about down low, posing as heterosexual men is what we're talking about.
Yes,
today.
and then yet and still going over here and finagling around and carrying on.
Okay.
So let's get this topic started. New Bay, what is your thoughts on this, the down low men, brothers, whatever you want to call them?
Honestly, I just don't understand it. From what I've heard when I watch different things on different shows or whatever, is that they are down low because they are afraid of what other people will say, what other people will think, yada yada yada. And I get that. Nobody
Right.
likes criticism or backlash, but at the end of the day, usually it comes to light anyway.
Absolutely.
And it usually results in like exposing or something like that. So it's like, would you rather go ahead and admit your truth, live in your truth, and be a part of a society that they do have, the LGBTQ, where you can live freely and be yourself versus living a lie and having to lie to someone on a daily basis. And usually DL men have children that are involved most of the time. So that's a whole nother aspect of it.
It is.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't want no parts of them. Don't come this way. Because there is no such thing to me in a society where a man is on the down low and then his version of that is he's bisexual. Where for me, most men, if a woman say, oh, I'm bi, like she like women and she like men, men are acceptable of that. But if a man says, we find out he on the down low, he's like, oh, I'm not really on the down low. I'm bi. I like men and women. There's not many women that's really acceptable of that the way men are. And if that's your preference as a man to say you like a woman that does it, then that's okay. But most women are like not accepting of that. And my thing is, like, I agree with New Bay over here when she say, a lot of people, they make the statement, they say that they're afraid to come out the closet or whatever the case may be just because of the backlash or criticism, what their family may say, being outcast or whatever. But now we live in a society where this is acceptable. Whatever you want to be, everybody's like, okay, that's what it is. So you still have these certain men that still live in this lie, and they have these whole families. They got a wife, they got children, they in church, and yet and still they go out here and live this double life with another man. I'm not understanding that, because now at this point it's being deceptive, because why you can't just tell this woman or your family that this is the life you want to live or lead, and let them make the choice to decide what they want to do. But in society, really and truly, a lot of people do frown upon it. Not to say that I have my preference on it or whatever the case may be about whatever race, gender that you prefer to be. That's fine, your sexual preferences. But at the same time, you need to give the next person that right to say, is this something I want to do? Because there are a lot of men, I don't know them per se, person or anything like that, but I do know a guy that we used to be friends with, that he did say that he was considered like a gigolo, and he slept with married men, men that had girlfriends. He would get in these cars with them, and he would see the car seats in the back. And he said sometimes he felt bad, for the wife and the kids, but at the same time he was out here making money. But he was like, this is up to this man not to be doing this. And then you got to think about safety. Not all these men that's doing this is out here being precautious, wrapping it up, being safe or whatever the case may be. Just like if they out here heterosexual. I'm saying that for both. That could be anyway. wrap yourself up. Most of these men are not doing that. They bringing these wives and girlfriend things back at the end of the day, and that's not cool. That's where I really draw the line at. You not even being careful when you're not out here doing it. But it just all goes to back to the same thing. Whether, because I know some people be thinking, well, you know, a straight man could be cheating with another woman. It's the same thing. Same thing applies. You need to be letting this person know that you're with whole, you know, the most of the time married to, girlfriend, main chick, whatever you want to call them. If you out here finagling around, whether it's on the down low or you with another woman, you need to give them that option to move around if that's the case. But being on the down low is totally two different things than actually cheating with another woman. If it's a man with a woman and cheating with another woman, there are some things some women just can't bring themselves to accept. And me as a full-fledged woman where I like a man, I love men, there's one thing for me to find out my man is cheating with another woman. I can compete with another woman.
Yeah.
But if my man wants a man, what can I do to compete with that? I'm not a man, so there's nothing I can do. So I would hope that my man would be fair enough to me to say, hey, you know, this is what I prefer over here, and just let me alone if that's the case. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion on it. But, you know, I think everybody have their own preferences and their opinions about it. And I'm sure, you know, people, you that's listening out there may think something totally different. And we definitely want you to, you know, write and let us know your thoughts and your opinions on that as well. But for me, I am just not with it. And I'm not with a whole lot of things. And those are other subjects that we can get on as well, too. But I'm just saying, on this Trash Talk with T, the K just ain't playing that mess right there.
And so, you know, I watch Armand Wiggins.
Oh,
Shout
yes,
out to Armand.
Armand.
Love that show.
And I only got on him because of my daughter. She just showed me some clips of this man, and I just love him. I need you to wear another wig, Armand, now.
Yes, he's hilarious. But I was listening to a show one time, and he was on the topic of DL men, and, you know, should they tell who they're dealing with, you know, that they mess with men or whatever. And this one guy got on there, and he, you know, I felt like if you were gonna be exploring that he was the type of man that you should be, you know, he wasn't in a relationship with a woman. He said that he doesn't do that. You know, he feels like he likes both, and he just wants to experiment with both sides. But with that being said, he's not committed to anyone. So I can understand. If you want to finagle and do what you do, that's fine. But if you are in a monogamous relationship with somebody, they should definitely know if you deal with the opposite sex, whether you are a male or a female. Because some males, you know, it's common that they like it, but there's some men out there that don't want that.
They don't want to share.
They don't want that lifestyle for their woman. So I can get both sides of the situation. So it's just like, if you are going to be like that, or you're trying to find yourself or figure yourself out, don't bring kids into it. Don't put yourself in a committed relationship with a woman knowing that this could possibly backfire, because like we stated before, most women are not accepting of a bisexual man. It just is what it is. I mean, it's 2021, but still, as of right now, that's not a thing that most women are into, because of the masculine energy that you're supposed to give off. It's like it's dimmed a little bit when we find out that
it's
you're
dimmed a
messing
lot.
with, you know, that you're messing with a man. And, you know, like I said, your sexual preference is your sexual preference. Just don't bring children and other people in your situation when you're trying to figure out what you got going on. So if you like men, be my guest. You be with men. And like I said, you don't have to, every time you meet somebody, be like, hey, I love men.
Right.
I like men. Like, that's your business. You know what I mean? Do you, just like I don't go out in public and be like, I like men. That's nobody's business. Right. When you meeting me, you should be meeting me for me, not what I like to do in my bedroom. I feel like that's a problem in 2021 now, is that everybody's so ready to broadcast what they do in their bedroom, and it's not needed.
It's not.
All I need to know is your name, how you doing today, whatever. I don't need to know who you like to sleep with. I don't need to know all that.
It's all good.
You know what I'm saying? We can all coexist and live just fine. You know what I'm saying? So if that is your preference, please just figure out what you would want instead of putting on a facade so that you can look a certain way to your family or the public or whatever the case may be. Because like I said, it's 2021.
Yeah, be who you
People
are.
is going with roller coasters. Why not be able to come out with your
doors, cups, you know. And I understand that at this point because, you know, the roller coaster not going to talk back to you. You can go out there and visit it and say whatever, ride it, get a thrill, and go on. So I get it. You know, you want to date it. So that's why we say, come on now with what you are. Because honestly, I just said the other day with the way things are going, I'm a date a door. Because I can slam it, talk to it, cuss it out. It ain't going to say nothing back to me at this point. That's what I need in my life. But now, man, I'll just aside, that was a joke. But I get it, though. But the whole point is you can say what you are without people looking at you all upside your head. We know back, and, you know, my times, actually, you know, if you was gay, that was kept hush-hush and under the rug. Whatever you was doing really was kind of, you know, the family business. We not talking about this. It's not all out in the streets. And if it was, you know, it was kind of blasphemy or whatever the case may be. But like she said, 2021, who cares at this point? That's what you own. That's what you're on. So why is it this big facade? Is it just because you know deep down, you know that that is wrong in some people's eyes in society? So let me see her put on a facade over here with a wife and kids or a girlfriend and kids and then still go over here and do that. That's not fair to that person over here, whoever you got over here. It's just still not fair. And the crazy part about it, I know back in my early 20s when that was, you know, still kind of frowned upon. You know, there was guys that when we went out that I was friends with that was gay, and they would be like, girl, you know, so-and-so, you know, was trying to holler at me, and I'm sitting there looking like, nah, no, he wasn't, because from what I know, he liked women, he doing this, he doing that with the women, and he was like, well, I'm telling you, you know, when we leave out of here late night, this is what they really be on. And I'm like, you know, I'm nosy, so I'm like, I got to try to see if this stuff is true or whatever. So, you know, we out at the club, whatever, late night, and, you know, we see certain people coming in. He's like, girl, I'm telling you, that's the group right there. Watch at the end of the night how they try to get with all of us, the gay men, and take us down to the little hotel. So I'm like, I know he's still flogging. I'm finna watch this all the way out. I don't care if I got to fall asleep in this club. I need to see. Sure enough, by 3:30, I see them all marching down the little hill, going down to the hotel with the gay men. And then my gay friend called me the next day. He said, girl, didn't I tell you? I'm just over here shocked because these same men being there sleeping with women, trying to act like they all of this and that, showing you their money and all this, but then you go over here doing that. That's not fair to the women that's seeing you actually as this man, and you at home with your girlfriend and your wives, but then you late night creeping with men and stuff. How is that fair to them? It'd be just like if your girl was actually doing that. Most men would be ready to kill him, even if they found out it was another woman. They'd be like, you sneaking behind my back, living this double life. But then when the roles are reversed, you know, women's supposed to be so acceptable of things all the time. But what about when the women do certain things, men not too acceptable of those type of things? So that's where I'm at too. Like, give us the same respect that you would want at the same time, whether we were sleeping with another woman or not, like same sex or whatever the case may be. You know, but it is, like when I say it's really going on out here. I remember the first time I ever really just heard about the down low is when Oprah did the story with Terry McMillan and them. And I just remember like thinking to myself, bless that poor woman's soul. And I remember her asking, asking about her husband, why did he say that he liked doing it with men? Because you think about it in your head, like, well, women got the same thing that the men got that they are doing. And he said his comment behind it was that the men muscles are bigger and they contract more, so it feels better. Now, each to their own, it made me almost sick, but I was like, okay, if that's what he liked, that's just what he liked. But at the same time, he shouldn't have let this woman go through this whole entire time thinking that she was his wife and this is, you know, they living this perfect life, and then this is a shocker to her to find out that he was, you know, living this life with other men, though. Now, is that fair? Like, I would like for y'all thoughts on that as well, too. Is that fair to the next person?
Totally not fair. I just feel like, especially in today's society, you need to be careful about the things that you do, especially when kids are involved. Because nowadays, everything makes the internet. Everybody knows everything. So it's like, do you really want your child to grow up in backlash because you weren't man enough to say what you like and live in your truth about what you like? You know, I've seen different stories, whether it's a mama doing OnlyFans, getting butt naked. You know, always think about the backlash of things.
Right.
You know, like I said, being with men, if that is your preference, then you roll with that.
Yep.
But just don't bring other people into it. That's all that, you know, I feel like that other people have issue with DL men is because it's like a secret. And at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be a secret. And like she was saying with her friend, where she's seen, you know, the dudes, it's very common. Most men out here are messing with men.
Right.
I can't put a percentage on it, but it's a lot.
It's a
lot of them. I went to school, of course, you know. In those times, a lot of people are curious and they're trying things and they're doing things and they're drinking and doing drugs and it's all fun
Just
until
everybody.
tomorrow, and you know. So it's just like, figure out to ensure that's what you want. Not that it's a trend, not that it's just something to do, not a sexual, like, I just want to have sex, so if this woman is willing, if this man is willing, I'm just gonna, like, it just shouldn't be like that. If you like men, really like men, and do your thing and live in your truth and be happy. Because I know it can't be happy knowing that you like something and you gotta fake it over here all the time. That's not, you know, just, that's not cool.
Because I'm going to pick up on it if you're faking with me. I'm going to hit you upside
and I
the
would
head.
hope so. You know, sometimes they do. Like, I watched that video of that girl that knew that her man was down low. The the stuff that she was saying, she been knew the man was down low before she even married him. And that's our thing, too, as women. If you know something in your heart, stop going along with it just because that's what you want. You want a man, so I'm just go along with it. I already know he don't want me, but I'm just keep on going. Like, don't do that. Be honest with yourself as well, because at the end of the day, who are you hurting? Nobody but yourself. Keep it real, because that girl, she basically said everything, but she had caught the nigga having sex at that point. But she still went along and married him, and then was heartbroken when she really found out he was gay, because she found pictures and stuff all up in his phone and his laptop or whatever. So it's like, you already knew. But it's like, let me
just throwing
pray
it in the
pray it away. I'll pray it off of them. You can't pray it off nobody. I'm sorry. As much as y'all say pray, go to church, you can't do that. That's what they want. And I don't know if you've ever wanted something before, but
oh Lord,
it's like you just can't even breathe.
You can't. If you wanted that, Lord, I done just been there before, so I understand. That's why you need to just go on over there and do what you want to do. Cause
and that's for all of y'all. You are a DL man watching this right now. Live in your truth.
Live in it. We gonna applaud you. Ain't nobody mad at you. Just don't do
and if you
that
bisexual, it is a woman out here that likes that. Like, I just wish that everybody would find people who are accepting of themselves. Like,
well, go to those places where they go. You can't go to straight or heterosexual, predominantly clubs, and think that you're gonna find those type of people that's on the same level as you are. You need to go out where those type of people hang.
And another thing I will say is that with the LGBTQ, fit in the masculine men that want to be in that circle. Because what I've heard from a masculine dude who's on the DL is that it's not really a space for him. He was like, every time he tells somebody he's gay, they automatically assume he's, yes, girl. Like, and he's not like that. He like to kick it. He like to, kick it with his homeboys and woo. It's just his sexual preference. So at the end of the day, fit in stuff for everybody so nobody won't have to feel left out. Because I can understand that, because every man that's gay is not fabulous. You know what I mean? So it's dudes out there that are gay and want to still just act like a man. So, they don't want to be trans. They don't want to be that boy, that I want to call myself girl, and if that's your thing, that's your thing.
But y'all are pretty. I can see he don't looking better than me sometimes, and I think I'm cute.
Or whatever. He don't want to be that. He wants to be a man, and I can respect that.
Absolutely.
Just I feel like everybody needs to be accepting of what they feel, what they know, what they love, especially in the year 2021. We don't live in 1950s no more. We literally have a space for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I would still keep it old school, like they used to say back in the day. It ain't even what you do, it's how you do it. And that still applies to how you're going about dealing with other people with what you want to do.
And I feel
Even
like-
if you feel like you need to uphold a certain standard, that doesn't mean still go out here and get a wife or girlfriend and have kids. You could still live your life, even if you want to be secretive. You could still live your life as a man looking like he's straight. Have your sexual partner over here that's a man if you want to. You just don't have to involve nobody else. And I say this example, everybody know that Queen Latifah's gay. I love her. That is one of the best female rappers from back in my time. Back in the day, you could already see that in her. But just because that was her, she wasn't out here doing this, or I'm going to go get me a man and go marry him, but still go over here and do this and do that with this woman. This is what I am. I'm going to stay present myself as a woman. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Ellen DeGeneres, she did the exact same thing. Ellen is pretty as a button, but everybody kind of knew Ellen was gay. But did she go over here and go run get her man because society accepts her more as a woman married to a man? And then she's still sleeping with this woman? No, she still just presented herself as who she was. And then eventually, guess what happened? When the times came about, she came on out. She married that woman now. And that's all we're saying to do at this point.
And I feel like because people are so broadcasting their sexual orientation, that's why so much backlash. Because whatever you present to the public is going to be opinionated.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you don't want to be judged or whatever the case may be, because people get judged all the time, whether
All
you're a
the time.
female that sleeps with a lot of males,
Yep.
whether you're a male that sleeps with other men, it all gets judged.
Whatever.
But I feel like now it's just like everybody's so afraid because everybody wants to present it. It's
Yeah.
not nothing that needs to be presented to
At all.
anybody. It's not a PowerPoint. You don't have to show me.
Right.
You have to tell me every time you see me. It's not. I should not. Honestly, if I'm not sleeping with you, I shouldn't even know.
Yeah,
what
it's
the fuck you
nobody's
like.
business. Yeah.
I shouldn't know what the fuck you do in your bedroom if I'm
Right.
not sleeping with you. Honestly
Absolutely.
and truthfully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my only thing about it. It doesn't have to be broadcasted like how it's been. It's like to the point where it's like throwing it down people's throat. Like, yes, I'm gay. I'm good. I'm gay. Look at me. And it's like it doesn't have to be like that because I'm heterosexual. But I'm not telling you, oh, I love men. I love them.
Right.
I love them. I don't do that. So it's not needed. You don't have
It's
to
not.
tell people what you like. Like it's not like oh, I prefer apples over bananas. Like. It's your sexual. Nobody has to know.
Right. At this point. Yeah, I think it's now it's getting out of hand when they do that. Now it's like every corner you turn, everybody got to talk about their sexual preference. You don't have to. Even back in the day, I'm sure that there was men that had wives and girlfriends that liked men that probably was sleeping with men. But did anybody know about it? Like they didn't broadcast it, or even if it happened, the other man didn't go broadcasting to the world what was going on or whatever the case may be. And then I'm sure even back then, those same men, they kept it real with their women. You know, that's why, you know, a lot of families stayed together too back in those times, because then now she could deal with, even though might not even be sleeping with him no more. Well, you know, for the sake of everything else, I'm going to stay with him. I'm going to go over here and do my thing. It's still just all about how you do things, how you run, talk, all of that. Like now it's just, it gets, like she said, totally out of control, out of hand. Now it's on social media. Kids see it. It's a whole big old mess, as I call it, ruha at this point. Now, I see you was over here. What you had for me right there?
Because I was just thinking about how, you know, with the trans and all that stuff, it's like, how are y'all be in the same community, but you will degrade and humiliate and ostracize, expose a man that you know is not open with his sexuality.
Right.
And then trans, you say that you are a woman, and then next thing you know, you're on social media blasting him that he's sleeping with a man.
Right.
So it's like, I don't even feel like they feel safe in their own community when y'all do stuff like that. At the end of the day, I feel like trans definitely need to pick a side. If you are a trans and you're calling yourself a woman, why are you exposing a man?
Right.
Because men sleep with women. That's what y'all say. Men sleep with women. So it's like, okay, how do you come to the internet and say that he's sleeping with you and you're a man?
Right.
Y'all gotta pick a side. That's why everything's getting so cloudy. It's getting so gray area because the things that y'all are saying, y'all are not portraying it in the right way.
Right.
Trans women, I've seen them fight regular females, and the thing is, if you want to be a woman, it should be about women empowerment, whether you're a trans woman
Or what?
a cisgender woman that y'all call,
Right.
whatever the case may be. If we're gonna all be of the same origin, let's stick together because it's already hard enough being with a man.
Right.
So if you are trans, please stop exposing me.
And
And especially when you have malicious intent like you're
behind it,
mad
yeah.
because he hasn't done the thing that he said he was gonna do.
Or left
he
his
didn't
woman
leave his
or
wife
something,
because
yeah.
he said he. Let's just be honest. If he ain't already left that woman, he's not gonna leave
he's
that
not
woman.
gonna leave her, yeah.
So if you want to be a secret, and that's what a regular woman, a
Yes.
cisgender woman. Most of the time when they're cheating with you, they're not leaving her because if they wanted to leave, they would have been
They'd
there.
have been gone.
Nobody has chains. Nobody's obligated. Even through marriage, nobody's obligated to stay with anybody.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, just live. Like I just that's my word for today. Live in your truth.
Yes, live in your truth. And on that note, so the next topic I would like to discuss, since we, kind of divvied over into transgender, and not I have anything against them. I want to talk about transgender in sports. How a man coming into a woman and being into their sports and dominating women, and then vice versa. If a woman, which you don't see, it's very rare, a woman transition over into a man and she goes into a male sport. I haven't seen that yet, but I do see where men transition into women and then they come into a woman's sport and then they totally dominate them, or even like she said in the fights, and totally demolish them, which they should. But that'll be the topic of our next discussion. I do want to elaborate a little bit more on that. I actually have talked to heterosexual men that has a viewpoint on that, and I think there was a clip. I hope I can find one of the world's greatest male tennis players that had compared himself with Serena Williams, and they asked, was she the greatest tennis player? He said greatest female tennis player, and they tried to get him to say the greatest tennis player, and he kept saying she's not the greatest tennis player, she's the greatest female. And he broke it down and said, if you put her with me, I would totally annihilate her. She could never beat me or most men in tennis. She could beat a regular man, but not another man that actually plays tennis. So when they asked Serena, she did the exact same thing because she knows she cannot beat a man. But like I said, that's something I want to go into a little bit because that's something that probably will take a little time as well too. But that will be the next topic of discussion. I do appreciate everybody joining in. I am so glad to be back. We have been missing in action for quite some time, but Kay and New Bay, we are back on the scene, and we will see you guys next time. You can also just on there, like, subscribe, let us know what you think. You can let us know thoughts, opinions, whatever you're thinking. I don't care, good or bad. Let us know. That'll give us some feedback. And I want to say once again, if anybody knows Armand Wiggins, let him know. We love him. And we will see y'all next time. And good night.
No.